feel like they might not be at full pistons firing.
It is Oregon, so anything can happen. Hopefully, 1nfamy do have a bit of a strategy. They've managed to get themselves together, pick themselves up, and then start seeing if they can win on Oregon and get themselves 3 points.
Yeah.
And primarily, 1nfamy are just playing at the moment just for pride. That's what it would be. It's not necessarily they're going to get the land, because bottom of the group, we've talked about this, just lost another 3 points. But come on, 1nfamy, pick yourself up, get another win on the board for yourself.
1nfamy going in with an IQ here, something that we often see if you're facing up against
Vigil.
Vigil, yeah. So, but Vigil was not picked up by Radix there. So Vigil not on the side of Radix. IQ also get some use here, but not sort of that direct counter that we're used to seeing from IQ.
Yeah, looking at the roster as well on Radix, we are going to have one substitution from last week. It is going to be their team captain, Quake, getting subbed out for their sixth. It is going to be Jaffa Cakes, the man to fill his shoes. Also looking at some of the other names on Radix as well. We had Pat in there, as well as Fabia, who have been very consistent for them this season so far. But I'm interested to see how Jaffa will do filling the roles of his team captain.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
It's very interesting. Jaffa coming in as kind of a substitute, not seen too much play over the course of the Premiership. You mentioned that he maybe isn't quite up to the level of the rest of the roster. We'll have to see how that works for them. 1nfamy, you can see here, No Thumb, Smitch, Rum, Drake, and Premix. All of them, those guys, pretty standard roster. They had some good performances, but right down at the bottom of the table right now.
Yeah, not looking too hot for 1nfamy at the moment. Looking at their operator they've chosen to go with, we have a Sophia again on the side of Drake, something that we don't see very often. She's still an operator that is trying to find her way into the meta, because a lot of different operators do outclass her. Say, for example, Ashe. She also has a device which can break open soft walls as well. But again, having that versatility with them concussion mines could come in handy, especially attacking this meeting room, which is always going to be a stronghold that many defenders want to try and defend.
1nfamy were the team that were kind of running odd picks. If you were expecting a team to run odd picks, definitely 1nfamy were one of those teams. This Twitch trying to do much. Twitch has actually had a pretty decent drone there from Twitch, so got a little bit of work done.
Missed the mirror window though, which was the main thing she needed to go for. We are going to see Rum opening up the killing on to Fabia. That's going to be Jaeger, who, again, another star player that we have talked about. That's going to be him out of the way. Seems to be that Prem and Rum want to gang up on Pony up inside this attic, a very common area, particularly for bandit players, as they can't get the bandit. But Prem's going to get the frag on to Pony and level us up into a 5v3.
Wow, good start for 1nfamy here. There's going to be a breach coming through as well. You can see Horizon Rum looking for a potential inroad. Drake gets a kill onto Pat, and suddenly it's a 5 versus 2. Radix falling apart at the seams, and this has been cold and calculated from 1nfamy.
Really nice big tower meeting hall take. Typically we'll see teams push in from the dining side and try and blow open the kitchen wall, but in this circumstance they've decided to go for a full-on top big tower and then try and push their way in through attic, of course, and they have successfully cleared it out without losing any casualties. And then we're going to see Rum pick up a double kill to finish off the round. That's going to be a flawless round for 1nfamy, and they are going to get their first round on the board. Well,
talk about maybe having some issues coming into the game. They certainly aren't playing like they've got to them. That was very, very, very good from 1nfamy.
Yeah, free K from Rum on the Habana, picking it up where he needed to be. But Radix maybe a little bit too patient on their meeting hold. Maybe they could have had somebody playing up in stairs inside the big tower just to delay the push from 1nfamy, of course. But that wasn't going to be the case. And 1nfamy pushing from that big tower side, pushed their way in through meeting, and then in the end it was only, I believe, Smoke and Mira left to defend the site, and against 5 it's not going to go in favour of the defenders this time. But we will now be moving on to 1nfamy's defence, and Radix are going to take the attack.
Yeah, two sort of, not odd picks, but picks that do spell out a little bit here. Vigil coming through from 1nfamy, and we've actually got a Capital coming from Radix. Capital is something that we've been seeing rising in popularity in the ESL Premiership specifically. Like, we saw a bit of Capital from 1nfamy sort of 2 weeks ago. We've seen it a little bit here and there from teams. What do you think it's designed to do here for Radix? What do you think they want to get done with Capital?
Well, primarily it's going to be for the downstairs mirror windows. course, because especially this one here, just talking about it, that is going to be Rom placing in that mirror window, which gives complete coverage of that entire laundry room stairs area, as well as the drop hatch. And of course, primarily that stairs area is where the attackers want to plant, and just having a Capitao to either smoke out the mirror window, which is another viable strategy, or just outright kill her and stop her from peeking the little hole that she's going to try and kill you from. So bringing the Capitao is going to be a good pick whenever they finally get their push going down on the bottom floor.
It's up to Radix to make that kind of play. They've got to be aggressive here, but also calculated. Like we saw from infamy, that was a complete 5-0 sweep. That's a great way to start off a round. Radix now entering second floor.
We are going to see a buck being picked up by Pony. Not the best pick for this laundry room defense, of course, because there's just no areas that Buck can really use that verticality that we talk about, that he brings with that Buck shotgun, of course. He is good on a kid's bedroom attack, because you can go down in the kitchen and start destroying the floor from below, like we see in Chalet and Border, for example. But he's not going to be too useful unless they're just bringing him for the nades. But then in that case, you could have brought an IQ who could have helped hunt the Vigil as well. Exactly.
So Buck not going to get too much work done. Like you said, laundry room can be difficult to find it. There's already Capitao going down on 5 versus 4. The infamy defense is solid. They are going to look to reposition though, because I think that was Drake giving away his position just there. You can see drones coming through as well. So Vigil not going to get seen by them, but just obviously wants to make sure he's not giving away that road position.
That's a very well thought out place to play on that main stairs, especially as a Vigil. Typically you see a drone get sent down main stairs straight away, clearing that nobody's going to be lurking ready to kill you, but in this case, having that Vigil, he could have been upstairs, he could have been in sight. That's how far the range actually does go on the Vigil tracker, of course. We're going to see Pony get a kill on the Smitch. It's going to be the Meetin taken care of, as he has managed to work his way in towards this attic area. And is still working on it, trying to get a couple of nades in, but still a bit slow from Radix, as he is going to drop and get shot down straight away by Fums, who was still inside Meetin, and he still does have control of this. So a minute to go, not looking good for Radix. No, just that sort of death trapper just dropping down. He gives away his position, he gets return headshot by Melon. That was such good positioning from Melon. He knew exactly there must have been some great communication on the Radix squad there to get that pinpoint down. Another move here by Melon's moving in. Really good stuff from this guy. I don't think they even saw him. It's a 3 versus 2, and suddenly they've got 48 seconds to work with, a man advantage to boot, and suddenly holding that verticality no longer there for infamy. No, it's going to be 2 versus 3. Thumbs, or actually not Thumbs, it's going to be Vigil still on the rope, so he could go for the late rotate flanks. Typically would see a drone placed inside Meetin for then the other members who are already dead off your team to cover the flank. As a Vigil, he could rush up the stairs and they wouldn't have a clue where he would be coming from. No. Prem playing very aggressive on this main corridor, looking to see if he can go for this plant. He's going to stand.
Oh, he gets one, he gets 2!
2! Big play from Prem inside the last 10 seconds. All down to Habana. She has to go down the main stairs and pick up the diffuser. But a 2v1, it's not looking good. 5 seconds to go, and we are going to see Drake finished off the round. What a round from Prem.
What a round from Prem, but what a round from Drake as well, because he started that off. The Capitao went down. Suddenly the mirror window was a bit safer because Capitao was the first member to drop. Really good stuff from infamy. This is a team playing with incredible synergy, given everything that we'd heard from infamy, everything that we'd heard from this week, that these guys weren't quite gelled, they weren't quite at sort of the top level of their performance. This has been some incredibly good stuff from infamy. Just think if they'd actually played both rounds like this, they could have really put themselves in contention, you know, towards that 3rd place spot even. Radix need to buck up, really. They need to buck up. They're going to run with that Vigil, but we've seen infamy. Premixer, he likes to go for the IQ. He's going to do it again. Vigil's suddenly not going to have that same level of influence that it did when infamy ran it just a second ago. Yeah, I definitely think, though, that Radix are going to be bringing IQ for their attacks now, just seeing what Drake does. Yeah. They do have a capable IQ player in the form of Pat, I believe. He plays their IQ whenever he's needed. I know he brought out a lot against Enix because they knew that Madman would be their primary Vigil player, and they countered it very well. It was one of my plays of the week. Not the plays of the week, but a very smart play of the week nonetheless. We will be heading upstairs for our first kids' bedroom defense. This is a very close quarter site. Shotguns do reign supreme, as well as a lot of nades that can be chucked in through corners. Ying is also a very good pickup for infamy, as she can completely flash either the mirror window going beside white stairs or also in straight through into the B bomb site. So I am liking the pickups from infamy for this top 4 attack. Did Radix somehow deal some damage to Jaeger before Like they team shot Jaeger maybe? Like he's taken a bit...
Might be in the Twitch room, don't know.
Yeah, potentially. He's taken 66% damage, which is pretty insane. I actually think I saw someone shoot him in the back of the head, so...
not too good.
A friendly bit of team damage. Oh, long range poke here from Smitch. Not going to get the kill though, but he will isolate and find one of the members of Radix who was roaming away from the kid's bedroom. So they know where Vigil is now. At least they know where he was
they know
just a second
up
ago.
there,
yeah.
Looking at where 1nfamy are looking to push in from, they've no hard breach. Well, I say hard breach, but like bigger hard breach, like a Thermite. They only have a banish. He only has a small pellet switch. Primarily for this particular site, you want to bring both, because she's very good at getting rid of the mirror windows beside white stairs and also kids. Looking at where they're stationed, round about this small tower area, that signifies to me that we're going to be seeing the Yings push in from possibly double door or the window. But if they are going to go for the kids' windows, then they have to clear big tower, which they're not. And that's where Vigil is going to punish them from there. So a peculiar strat that we don't see too much, but they're setting up pretty well. But they could use with some destructibility as well to get rid of some of the anchors, but we'll see where it goes.
Ying now pushing on to go. Drake's actually picked off Melons now, so that is going to be Mira going down. Drake again with another entry kill. First kill of the round, sets things up for 1nfamy once more. Slowly taking out those cameras. Nice, actually dodges out a lot of the return fire. And there goes the grenade up the stairs, just try and clear out as much as they can, but 1nfamy having good success off this push right now.
Yeah, they've managed to take out the mirror on that white stairs, which has allowed Drake to push up and possibly use this mirror window against them. Pony is going to try his best to get into sight as much as he can, as Pat does get a frag onto Fums as Prem then gets the kill on the Fabia. Drake still in a great position to give a lot of intel to his team, and of course also push as he is a free speed. Drake's going to have the best gun skill that we've seen so far out of this team. And 58 seconds go, still plenty of time for 1nfamy to solidify their push, but they have lost Ying, which is a major operator to make this push successful.
Yeah, really good entry point with Ying. You know, you want to be able to get those flashbang or those sort of the camera down. You want to get that going and sort of try and find that entry into the room. But still a man advantage. You can often get a lot of work done with just a simple man advantage, especially with Capone roaming. And now giving away his position once more. It almost feels like a 4 versus 2 on the sort of the defense side right now.
Yeah, it seems to be more or less a 3v2 because Pony and Habana's just going to sit there and ball out in a 1v1. They know where he is. Pat is going to get the kill on the Smith, but then Rum gets the refrag straight away on the Pat. Pony then gets the kill on the Rum. A 2v2 equals up to. Drake is going to pick up IQ, but both of them are going to be located on the white stairs. This should be a kill trap now, unless Prem does get a frag onto the castle. It's not going to be the case as Pony swings in from the main door, and Jaffa does clutch up where he needed to be and does get the kill onto Drake, and Radix get a point onto the board.
Felt like Radix in that round, it really felt like they had, well, on the back foot especially, like Capone was very early isolated. They kind of knew where he was. They went for that 1v1 to try and keep him back pinned in. He was kind of a non-factor for most of the game until the very end, where he managed to win that 1v1 and return to game. But now Radix get themselves back on the board. What was it that sort of happened there? What kind of brought Radix back in?
Definitely a big play from Pony, being able to pick up the kill onto Habana. Maybe Rum played too aggressive inside that corridor. He had control of that main corridor, got a kill from it.
Did he need to push? Did he need to push up?
He didn't need to push. He just had to sit there and cover the impact hole because he knew Pony was there.
Yeah, exactly. But there was no way out for Pony, right?
No.
Unless he went all the way around, and that would have been too long, right? So yeah, he didn't need to push up. Maybe he just felt like he could get the 1v1 versus Pony, but he didn't. And unfortunately, that cost potentially 1nfamy the round at that point, because once Capone managed to join back up with his team, he found a good angle, and like you said, he got to that death corridor. It was so difficult for Drake to move out of that situation. Suddenly now it's 1nfamy's turn to defend, kids. Kids Dorm.
We are going to see a Dog and a Frost being picked up by 1nfamy, two operators that we don't see a lot, very niche picks. I know Drake does like the MP5 ACOG, just because it gives them that sight, that lends the sight onto that primarily the armory corridor, as you can get really filthy angles through a lot of destructibilities.
We've seen a bit of Valkyrie, but explain to me what Frost is supposed to do here, because we just don't see a lot of that.
There's a lot of windows.
Suppose.
So I'd imagine he's going to stick guns where the window jump-ins are going to be common, so of course double window is going to be a main one. Connector window is a bit of an iffy one, because if they take control of armory, then they need to shoot it outright. Another one going top of white stairs, that is, it could work. You never know, final 15 seconds, somebody has to push out white. They couldn't be ready for that. So, like in Frost, it could catch Radix by surprise, and could be their downfall.
Blackbeard looking for some sort of peek through here. What are the pros and cons of Frost versus a traditional operator that you'd see on this kind of defense?
it just gives that surprise attack.
Sure.
You're never expecting Frost in the ESL. See if you put a Frost trap on that armory window, nobody's going to expect that, especially a Frost mat off-site. Pony just swung in, they didn't drone out, they didn't even look at the window. He just swung in, he could have been down from it. So having that little bit of, we have Frost mats, you don't know if we do have Frost mats, it just helps reassure in some of the locations that they could be in.
So if infamy want to play this the best, they want to try and keep this defense for as long as possible, force them to start making rash decisions towards the 45-second mark. So hold the defense for as long as you can, then force Radix to make almost like gut instinct moves, which they don't think about Frost traps and walk directly into them. Okay.
Because primarily whenever your final 30 seconds, you're going to be aiming your gun head high, ready to kill enemies. That's the last thing you're going to be worrying about is a Frost mat going to be on the floor whenever I walk in this room? No, because you're going to be more worried about the guy with the gun. So I'm liking the Frost play. We already seen Melons. Actually, Pony and Melons getting a kill onto Rum and Drake. This time, Radix are in the front foot, and 1nfamy aren't looking too good because that's also going to be docked down, so another anchor is going to be taken out, but we are going to see Jaffa get reset. Just falls off the roof and doesn't get reset by his Thermite. Seems to be gearing up for this master bedroom take. Yeah,
they've got a huge positional advantage now. They can pincer this really easily. It would be pretty mega defense from 1nfamy if they can pull this one off.
Yeah, we do see an aggressive Valkyrie shotgun who could go for the quick dash out of that double armory reinforcement, of course, as we do see that happen. That's a very common strategy for a lot of people, as Bumps is also going to keep picking, see if he can get another one, but the rest of the team is going to get picked up. He does down one, but then Pony does clean up. That is going to be Radix going 2-2 against 1nfamy.
Too early picks up for Radix. Allows them to have a major man advantage here. They just needed to try and keep it as steady as possible. Giving away early frags when you're running with the Frost makes it so easy and gives so much time for Radix to find those locations, be a bit more calculated about how they approach and make their play. Yep. Really, 1nfamy wanted to give nothing away until at least a minute, and then if you gave things away a minute, at least there was only 1 minute to work with, so the Frost traps maybe a little bit behind in terms of the enemy's mind. But 1nfamy off to a great start. Suddenly Radix are biting back at their heels, and Radix desperately want these points. They want to get 6 points from this little engage because that's going to allow them to start to push towards Xenos on the standings. Yeah,
that'll put them equal points with Xenos if they do win this map. And then, of course, Xenos have to face the top dogs in their group. It is going to be Enix. So Radix, they need to put the pressure on. They need to keep going if they have any hope of getting to LAN. So looking at where we will be going next, it will be down to that laundry and supply room. Radix are going to take a lineup of Ayla, Mira, Jaeger, Smoke and Bandit. Nothing out of the ordinary, of course, is free roamers, primarily Ayla, Jaeger and Bandit for the meet and hold, and then the other two on site for, of course, that Mira and Smoke combo that I love so much on every defensive site, especially for this laundry room, as they can control it magnificently.
I really like the sort of the Vigil baits back and forth. Like, I'm taking IQ because you're going to have Vigil, but wait, we're not going to take Vigil, we're going to take something else. A little bit of mind games going on between these two teams right now. Going to have that Bandit coming in instead, just making sure that he's sort of covering some of the traps, trying to make it more difficult for 1nfamy to work their way inwards.
Yeah, primarily Bandit's going to be used to, of course, put his Bandits on the mirror windows, because then that stops any hope of Abanas trying to get rid of the mirror windows. One of the only, two, I'll say, I think that's probably 1 out of 2 counters to a mirror window. The other one, of course, being the Twitch room, which they also have.
Oh!
We're going to see him get taken out very early on as Pat playing aggressive inside the garage. Gets an early pick on the Smith. Twitch drone down. That's looking good. What
a great roam from Pat right there. Literally that entry point for Twitch, straight to the head. Pat placed perfectly. Maybe just realized that's where Smitch would come, right? He just said, okay, well, I'm just going to play it here. This is where I would maybe enter as a Twitch. This is where I would be looking to get some sort of move into the game. And honestly, that was really good stuff from Pat. Actually has been silently playing very well for Radix. The IQ's going to come out, notice some things as they make a slow move inwards. Hibana now also looking for some sort of pressure, but actually reveals herself and now is in a 1v1, takes lots of damage and escapes just off the very back foot, but he is very low at this point in time as Prem picks up a return onto Fabio.
Yeah, it seems to be that Radix are going to play a little bit more aggressive than what we usually see them do. They know that they're going to go for the big tower push as they previously did, so placing some guys over and around that bedroom area. They can peek from the kids' window, they can peek from that connector window that we've seen as well. Another reset's going to come down. Plenty of time to do it as well, but already half the round gone, and Infamy are going to be down a man leading into this final half.
I was right, I didn't think anyone was around. I thought he might have just done it a bit preemptively, but looking for a search. He gets picked off as Pat again. Another pick off. Pat, another pick off. What is this monster doing? Well, he's dying as No Thumbs actually gets a return. 3 versus 1 right now. But it's a big ask for a Ying to do this solo versus a Mira, a Smoke, and a Bandit. There's no real way to deal properly with that Mira window at this point as well. And they now know her location, and she goes down as Capone gets the kill, and Radix are suddenly looking to ramp things up.
Yeah, Radix have taken a full momentum swing inside this match we talked about at the 2-0 landmark. That Infamy looked like a brand new team, but Radix have equally came out and shown them that, oh no, it's just the same old Infamy.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can just play like that. Sometimes you can have some sort of inspired performances and not quite find the magic to continue it. It's a 3 in a row right now for Radix. They just need to secure another 2. And they'll be well on their way to that center board contesting with Xenos. And then if Xenos lose to Enix 2-0, Radix will be looking at this group saying, this is wide open for LAN.
Yeah,
this is wide open.
Because if that happens, if Enix go 2-0 against Xenos, that will put both of them on the same points. And then heading into week 6, both being on the same points, they play each other.
Exactly.
And that is going to be some game if that goes to that. But I'm sure Xenos are probably rooting for some of their old teammates that they have teamed with, of course, saying, come on Infamy, do it for the boys.
Do it for the boys. It is now up to Infamy, a basement defense, looking for obviously laundry room, supply room. Going to start to shore up and try and just cover all their bases right now. But this is, again, Infamy haven't been slick over the last 3 rounds, and Radix have had a very solid offense. Radix actually going to run with a Capitao themselves this time round. Capitao and Buck as well. No mirror though, so there is no mirror for Capitao to get that sort of insane value with. So I'm wondering where you really see Capitao come in this time round.
Another thing that surprises me, not just because there's no mirror, there's no smoke. So I'm confused about these operator choices for Infamy. They've decided to pick up an Echo, who does have great utility, of course, as a shotgun, has a great secondary in that machine pistol, of course, as well as Echo Drone, which can stop plants. Another free armor, so he is going to be good on them anchors, being able to tank a little bit more than some of your free speeds, of course. But no smoke is going to really come back to bite them in them last couple of seconds, because we see it so many times on different maps where smoke grenades really do clutch out the round. You take, for example, 1up. Kiza has clutched up so many rounds because of them gas grenades, and they haven't decided to bring it. And also a Legion's going to be brought out, which is another niche pick, but you see Thumbs going flying across that corridor as Pony does pick up another frag kill to his name.
Going to start opening up some of these walls here. Capone looking for some more work. Capitao also now just waiting for an angle at this point in time. They know where at least one member is. As one shows themselves to Pat, there'll be a 1v1 duel over that side as he actually going to start to escape now. So Pat, not quite sure this has happened, but we'll keep that angle held for now.
Echo Drone is going to be played off-site, which is something that we don't see very often. Instead, it's going to be used as more of an assistance to the roamers primarily. And it isn't a great place. That L corridor is a very high-traffic area, as it does cover, of course, that kitchen door, as well as the garage, the lobby, the meeting door, and, of course, also where we did see Capo Station. So a lot of intel that Prem can dish out to some of his roamers that are still lurking about.
Radix slowly just working their way through at this point in time. Still only 1 kill to their name. They're just looking for an opportunity to try and get some intel, try and find where the rest of the Infamy lineup are, who have now gone a bit quiet at this point in time, not giving them too much away.
Nothing a lot coming out from Infamy. We do see still 1 player up in the big tower, another one supporting him on the bottom stairs, of course. So they can go for a quick rotate through meeting if they have the gun skill, of course, to back them up, as typically that meeting door is a complete suicide run in if they do have somebody watching it with a hard angle. But we are going to see the push starting to come down in towards that laundry room as Smitch does open up the killing in this last minute off the round as Melons gets dropped. That's going to be the primary planter for Radix down, but then Pat is going to pick up where his teammate could not and go for the plant beside these laundry bins. Not having that smoke like we talked about is going to limit them being able to stop this plant going down. We do see Rum get the kill on the Pony, Java gets the kill on the Smitch, as then Drake does pick up the kill on the Fabia, and it is going to be a 3v2 in Infamy's favour.
Well, where did it all go wrong for Radix? They had a lot of time to work with. They've dropped the diffuser as well. This doesn't feel like it's going to be a good place, as it's now a 3 versus 2. Ying very, very low herself. Going to drop the diffuser where she can, but there we go. I feel like it's going to be all she wrote for Radix, as Infamy level things up 3-3. Just when they needed it, some off-meta picks kind of came out in their favor.
Yeah, it did work. Echo just proving his strength, of course, being able to slow down that round, and that Echo Drone was really good for intel. We don't see that a lot being played round and about the upstairs area, primarily just in a corner somewhere in the laundry room, but this time it has worked out, and it did give the roamers a lot of intel knowing where these guys are going to be. Of course, we did see the Echo Drone rotate through meeting, which then of course gave intel to the roamers in Big Tower saying there's nobody in meeting, we're clear to push in, try and go for the retake, and that's exactly what happened.
Now Infamy and Radix again tied up 3-3. This could go to overtime, but realistically Radix don't want to let that happen. They want to make sure that they secure this out. They're going to be running with a Vigil, and they're actually going to have the mirror this time around, so we won't see a mirrorless defense.
Need to locate and defuse bombs.
No, but we will be seeing a Jackal and a Montagne being picked up by Infamy. This screams one thing to me. It's just going to be that single door where Pat just put the barbed wire. That's where they're going to try and stand there and plant the bomb. That's the only way I see Montagne working for this particular strategy. We've seen 1UP run the Blitz for Oregon, where he just bombs up White Stairs. So if they were going to go for that approach, then why not bring the Blitz? Because you put so much pressure on that guy at White Stairs. Typically we see the Mira being played there. And Mira can't outgun a Blitz. She doesn't have the round capacity, nor the damage to put a bit of damage in towards a Blitz. She has a free armor, of course. So that's what I'm going to go with, is it's going to be a single door plant. And still no Thermite, but a Blackbeard I'd imagine going to be playing on double windows. So they do have a couple of angles covered. But I'm not liking it. I'm not liking no Thermite.
It feels quite risky to go all in on this. It's kind of an all-in strategy, right? You just push in behind the Montagne, you use that as a block to try and plant that bomb, and you just kind of force the enemy to play around that, either come back up the stairs or find another angle. But it can get kind of torn apart. You need to be very careful. You don't want to lose anybody on these pushes either. Can't get lost to the roamers. Got to be careful of Vigil, which you don't really have any answer for at this point in time. So a lot of this is going to come down to Vigil, you feel, for Radix.
Yeah, Vigil, of course, is a roamer who can play basically anywhere, because you can't spot him unless his ERC7 device does get turned off. This time he is going to be up in the Big Tower previously, like we've seen him, but if they're going to try and go for a couple of kids' windows, they have to take Big Tower. And of course, Pony is going to be playing there, just being that man, a little bit of a menace in the background for Radix. But they're going to go for the White Stairs push with Montagne.
That is exactly what you called. You said this is looking like what they were going to do. Push behind Montagne, going to try and get that single door plant, like he said. They know that it's happening now, though, because Montagne is going to start to move up. He's going to start to just take a big front line, tank those bullets.
Yeah, nothing as of yet for Radix or Infamy. This, I don't know why they don't take the Blitz. If they want to bring a shield operator, they stand at that white and just give a lot of intel. 1UP do it really well with the Blitz, just pushing up, putting a lot of pressure, and of course, having that little bit of aggression with Blitz, you can easily swing the momentum in your favour, because of course, Montagne can't really run at them and gun them like the way Blitz can, of course, flash them. So he is very limited at what he can do.
Oh no, they just lost Blackbeard as well, but they do get a return kill onto Capone. So that will be Vigil going down, but Blackbeard, another major entry point member, as Fabio actually picks up a member of Infamy as well. So suddenly Radix on defense, Jaeger just able, gives himself away as he runs back towards the top. You would think he's going to be running up White Stairs there to rejoin his team. Yeah. So it's down to a 3 versus 3. Still had that Montagne to work with as well.
Yeah, at that position, possibly Jaeger could have just sat in bathroom. 50 seconds ago, he could have wasted a load more time.
And he was behind White Stairs.
Yeah.
He could have sit behind, I mean, you know they're trying to play on White Stairs strat with Montagne. Why not just sit behind White Stairs, force them to make the play, and then run up behind them?
Because you can get an angle from bathroom into White Stairs.
Yeah.
It didn't seem that Habana didn't have any flashes, so she does have the Claymore. So again, Jaeger could not have been challenged with flash grenades. It was come down to all it comes, skill primarily. Defenders are going to have that advantage on a sprint and an attacker, of course. So a bit of a questionable play, but nonetheless, they still have wasted a lot of time as that guy at the B Anchor playing in there is going to be a bit of a havoc for Rum to deal with. As 10 seconds to go, Rum has to go for the
he gets the headshot.
Kill on the melons. He's going to try and swing around, playing too aggressive. As Pat does punish him for that push. As Montagne is now going to try his best, but the plant cannot go down. And the defenders will take this round, and Radix are going match point.
Oh, that was so close. You feel like Rum might have just thrown that out the window there. He had the defuse. They had Montagne there. They could have played that angle. They got the headshot. But he rushed in. He thought maybe, oh, I'm on fire. Get 2 kills here. This is an absolute guaranteed win for us. It was a big risk. No reward play for those guys. They could have just played the initial strategy. You know, they were in a great position taking out Jaeger downstairs. They lost a roamer that was potentially going to provide a threat from another angle. They were in the only angle they wanted. They knew every member was in that angle, and they rushed in and gave it away. And suddenly Radix just need a single win here on this map to get this round in their favor and take those 6 points from the total matchup versus i1nfamy.
So Kid Storms and Main Hall will be where i1nfamy could possibly make their final stand. Let's see if they can pull it back and take us to that overtime. They are going to bring in the dock once again, as we previously did see Drake play it. He didn't do anything last time, as he did get picked off quite early. And then from there, rest of Radix could push in, knowing that there's going to be no anchor at the back of A, and then they just kind of swarm the objective from that on in. Still, we are going to see a Valkyrie being played by Fums. He did get a couple, I believe it was 1 kill with the Valkyrie shotgun. And also, of course, the Valkyrie camera is a very good one located in that bit of a connector area. As you can see, the master bedroom and armory wall, of course, and then also main stairs and the armory door as well. So it's a good camera to get a lot of early intel, and that's going to be the main camera that lets you know if they're going to go for a master bedroom push, and then you can start gearing up and put more resources in towards that angle.
And like you said, Valkyrie's shotgun in such close quarters areas like Kid Storm is just a really good asset to have as well. Let's see how this plays out. Pat now looking for what he does best, just trying to find either a pick on the roamer or just trying to catch out anyone that he can. He's going to start to use that drone, but this is a very, very slow approach here from Radix, like you would expect. Very important round for them. Running with Blackbeard as well, so looking for a bit more of an entry man as well with Blackbeard on board. He's kind of sees a little bit of play. You'd say he's sort of a medium favorability operator. Not everybody likes him, not everybody runs him, but Radix and i1nfamy have both been trying to make him work here.
Yeah, they're going to bring the Blackbeard for just that pressure. Just knowing that some of these hard angles, especially that one in main corridor, that you're peeking into the back of the site, knowing that a Blackbeard stationed at main door, as soon as you hear that again, the Scar's a very significant gun to hear out for. It's just a big, slow round, heavy hitter gun that's very easy to look out for. Once you know a Blackbeard station at an angle, in your head you just know, I'm not picking that, I'm not picking that. And then because you're not picking it, it lets other members, great shot by Pony, it lets other members, of course, off i1nfamy or Radix start pushing in and trying to get an angle that you cannot push from because he's there as a menace. Yeah,
he's being very slow, taking those angles, like you said. Valkyrie now caught by herself, needs to back out, and then now forced back into what looks to be Kid Storm at this point, kind of boxed in right now. This is really good from Radix. They've taken out Drake already as it stands. Going to get a bit more intel as Smitch actually gets a return onto Jaffa Cakes, who hasn't been having the most fantastic performance this time round, but he is just a sub for Radix, which is even more impressive, by the way. If Radix can come away with a victory here with a sub, that'll be great for them. Icing on the cake, you feel.
Yeah, again, Jaffa, he's brought in as that 6th man. We're not expecting miracles from the man, but we're expecting him to do his job as a support player. We did see Sledge rotate over towards them kids' windows, and because they haven't taken clear of that big tower, Rum can sit and just sit ready for somebody repelling up to the windows and take them out. As we are going to see Fums play aggressive with the shotgun in the close range environments like we have been talking about, but then he does get finished off by Pat, and it is going to be a 3v3 Pony on the connector window. Possibly, if quick thinking from what Rum happens, then he could come up and bash the window out of that big tower and get an easy kill on the Pony, but at the moment he is going to be in meeting. No help to his team at this stage.
They've got to make a move in the next 20 seconds though, and Radix are going to start to do so. Low health bars on the side of i1nfamy. Here goes the diffuser down, but they are taken through, and suddenly it's 3 versus 1. Suddenly it's 3. It's 1 versus 2. Somehow Pat has brought it back. Pat has been outstanding for Radix throughout this entire series, but he has got such little time to work with, and 2 members of the enemy team to go up against him. He's going to start to use that diffuser. They're going to start to make the move in. Now they just need to turn around the corner and shoot him in the head. And Smitch levels it up for i1nfamy once more. Radix not quite able to secure that victory, and somehow 1nfamy keep this going.
1nfamy won that round single-handedly on that Valkyrie cam being placed beside that main double window. So one of the Valkyrie cameras which I normally wouldn't go for, it's a bit out in the open, it's very easy to see from the master bedroom angle whenever you do blow it open. But in this case it did work. I'm sure Pat looked directly at it, but he just didn't have the time to shoot at it. And then from there it was very easy just for any member of 1nfamy to run up and go for that swing around.
Well, we're into overtime now. Suddenly things are going to start to get a little bit more spicy. Doc again for Hampton Drake, Valkyrie, Jaeger, Bandit, and Ela. Similar kind of setup. Looks like they may be going for another kid's bedroom defense here with the way they're set up.
Yeah, they're going to go kid's bedroom again. It worked last time, so why not try it again? That's going to be 1 for 1. They've lost one, they've won one. They did, of course, switch out. I believe it was a Frost, so it was a Frost for the Bandit leading up to that second round, so that's going to be a change that they did make. It did work, of course. Frost mats didn't work as they expected to, so always switching it out. And like we did talk about, Frost is going to be just one of them operators that does catch them out, but once it does catch them out, it's not going to happen again.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully Radix won't make the same mistake. They're going to run with a Capitao and IQ as well. Again, bringing the IQ once more. Thermite. Interesting. No one running the buck on this kid's dorm offense. You said it might be a bit more useful when the kid's dorm is open. You can open up some of that verticality. No one seems to be sort of doing that.
No.
What? Pat?
Yeah.
What?
I believe it was Rom going for a spawn kill at the double door. A bit of a risky maneuver. I believe Horizon, they have 2 masks on their side. He is a known spawn peeker in competitive play, which he does get some kills from it, so maybe Rom took a bit of inspiration. Tried to go for it, but Pat did punish him for that. Foolish mistake. Looking at where Radix are going to try and push from, they don't have the puck like we have seen Pony play, but maybe it's because they were expecting more pressure coming from downstairs, as again both bomb sites are going to be open. So maybe they weren't expecting to go downstairs, or maybe they were expecting to go downstairs but weren't expecting the upstairs hold from 1nfamy. They do also have the Capo and Yang, so a couple of smokes at their disposal to try and push in for that master bedroom armory plant. Like we have talked about, of course, as Pony's going to get in straight away in towards this army area and take point.
Pat has been incredible for Radix over the course of this series. Just really has been, in some instances, solo carrying with his fragging especially. Seems to be having his aim on point. Headshots galore for this guy right now. But Radix need to convert that. They need to convert these early picks, because Radix have been the team getting the early picks almost every single time. They just need to convert it into something tangible, which is a win, which just hasn't been able to be the case, especially on their offense. Their defense hasn't been so bad. As Capone picks up Drake right now, this probably spells the signal to start making a pretty aggressive move into bomb site right now for Radix.
Yeah, they're going to go for this double wall, and just Fabia being played on this double window is going to give him a lot of accessibility to start capping off the main primary door at kids, of course, and just really lock down the back of this map, which does allow Melons to start trying pushing up. They know that there's going to be Valkyrie inside the attic, as Pony does get the frag on the bomb. Smitchton gets the refrag on the Pony, and then we are going to see, I believe it's going to be Prem getting the down this time on the Thermite. It's down but not out, and it easily can get revived if one of his teammates do decide to rotate.
Yeah, this is just now Fabio holding this angle. He jumps in, he's going to start to trigger something, so the flashbang's gone off. He's going to have to be very careful about how he approaches this, as the rest of his team are not that healthy right now. It's going to be a peek around the corner. He doesn't get the shot, and Prem is the one that comes away on top. And it's all up to Jaffa Cakes, who does manage to get that up onto Thermite, but they've only got 20 seconds to work with right now.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Radix. Again, Jaffa very low health, maybe threw it a little bit too late. Maybe should have just chucked it, didn't have to cook it in that example, but Switch does clean up. And that is going to be 1nfamy going match point this time their way. I believe that's going to be 3 rounds on the trot for them.
Yeah, 3 rounds on the trot for 1nfamy, and suddenly Radix is staring down the barrel of a very disappointing outcome. Gotta say, like, I don't want to rag on Jaffa, but that was an angle, I mean, that he could have taken with a gun. Like, you didn't need to open up into a long corridor angle holding, holding it. Could have opened with a gun, then used to try and use that, but maybe he felt pressured by time. But Jaffa's actually performing slightly better than Fabia. Fabio's not having a great game. And 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the guy to watch from Radix. Fabio was the guy to watch. Fabio was the fragger. Fabio would get the roaming kills. It's all been about Pat today, and honestly, Fabio has not been looking that good.
He's been a little bit dipping in and out. He's played well, he's played not so well, he's played well, he's played not so well. It happens. It happens to the best of the guys. It just, you go into them little phases where one day you'll play amazing, another day not so much.
I mean, it happens, right? It happens in every competitive sport and sort of competitive game as well. People have form, and right now you can dip in and dip in out of that form. And right now it just seems like Fabio's not quite at that top level. It's up to Radix to get a solid defense here, though. You can see Infamy running with the IQ. They got the sledge. Habana got the Capitao, and also, running with lots of hard entry.
Yeah. The only thing I'm not liking still is that they're not bringing any Thermite. He is a great operator for either attacking downstairs, as of course if a Thermite is going to be brought primarily, he's not going to be used for the hatches as you always bring Habana. He's going to be used for pushing in towards the meeting area, getting rid of Athic, getting rid of the kitchen wall. And then of course upstairs he's just going to be so good for getting that hard breach onto that double wall, which is something that they are lacking. They're trying to play the window game, trying to play the white stairs game. It has been working for them so far. But I think that Radix now are going to be ready for it.
We've been saying that for about 5 rounds. Radix are going to be ready for what Infamy are bringing with these slightly off-meta operators in some instances, but it always seems like Infamy find a way. Somehow Radix get this great early game. Infamy hold steady, and then they wait. And they wait, and then they wait. And that is Ash finding a hard entry here. Rum's going to try and move in with him. This is going to be potentially first frag as Habana gets moved back. Rum doesn't quite get it. Oh, he does quite get it as Pat goes down. That's a big kill onto Radix. That is a major, major player that Rum has just managed to pick off at the very get-go here. No Thumbs has taken a bit of damage, has gone down, but will be rezzed because it's too risky, I think, as Smitch goes down to a grenade. This should be Infamy as Capone finds the return. He finds the roam onto No Thumbs. Suddenly this Vigil coming out on top.
Great play. That was Pony who did down him at that main stairs. As Rum's doing a little bit of a dance for us here. And just talking about Pony, he went to the main stairs, got the down, knew he was at the window, knew nobody was in a position to get him up. He then rotated all the way through meeting and up to the big tower. And then, of course, did manage to get the kill whenever he was outside on the balcony. Great play.
Melons here trading back and forth with Drake as he walks straight into Drake, and Drake very carefully and coldly takes the kill. 3 versus 2, low health on the Jaeger, Vigil still roaming. This is open bomb site, you feel, for Infamy to just rush in as Prem takes down Fabia, again having a very tough time, and it's all up to Capone, 1 versus 3. He's not in the position to defend, but he is making his way up white stairs, so looking for some sort of entry, but you just feel like Infamy will be able to hold this angle so easily. Yeah,
once you have control of the bomb sites, it's very controllable, especially from that B bomb site. And going up, especially Pony coming up a very big chokehold in that white stairs, it's so easy for somebody to hold an angle on one door. It's the easiest thing to do as an attacker inside the bomb site. And from there, Infamy did manage to win 6-4. Wow.
Yeah, Infamy come away with the win here, and that is actually disaster for